I have a litigation and advocacy practice, and what drew me to litigation advocacy was when I was in law school. I did a few moot trials and moot competitions, and that's what really drew me to the advocacy aspect of practicing law. And now it's really the variability that it gives you, and I can easily say that 9 times out of 10 it's a nice way to spend a day. They say loss doesn't grow on a rolling stone. This is my 3rd firm. It started off with another regional firm in Winnipeg, and we had moved to Ottawa, where I was with the Heenan Blakey firm, and we were moving back to Winnipeg for family reasons, and I was a litigator, and that's what I did. And the firm that I'm at is the largest boutique litigation firm in Western Canada. Well, let me rephrase that. The largest boutique litigation firm between Ontario and probably Alberta. In 2009, I was intervening on a language rights issue before the Manitoba Court of Appeal. And not only did we we built upon the precedent or the test to meet in order to intervene before the Manitoba Court of Appeal, but it was also the first time in the history of the province that the matter was heard entirely in French without the aid of any translation. And that was a full panel in French, and everyone making submissions was in the French language. For me, that being a Franco-Manitoban, for me that was probably one of the highlights so far. I've been also blessed to have a tremendous amount of fantastic mentors. But I think I'd go back to my grandfather Alfred, who spent many years in law as well, and his cardinal rule is, if you want to be remembered for what you say very little. And to take from that is be clear, be succinct, be brief. Well, pro bono is very important to me. I've been lucky to be at firms that really value pro bono work. One of the lawyers I used to work with in the past, by the name of Ivan Whitehall, it always stuck with me. He would say, we're not coal merchants after all. And implied in that is that we're officers of the court, and we have responsibilities to the profession, but also to the community at large. And with that is pro bono work and volunteer work, which I do a fair bit of myself. The case I was referring to earlier, where it was the first time we pled, where the first time the matter was heard entirely in French in front of the Manitoba Court of Appeal, that, for example, was a pro bono file, which had to do with language obligations that the City of Winnipeg is to provide pursuant to the City of Winnipeg Charter Act. And unfortunately, the Court Challenges Program Act has suffered some severe budget cuts, which has had an impact, in my view, on access to justice and those types of matters. I think it has affected the amount of public interest law that is going forward, and it's up to the pro bono lawyers to take that up.